Hey y'all, this week's episode of The Read is brought to you by Squarespace, where you can turn your great idea into a reality. That's because Squarespace makes it easier than ever to launch your passion project, no matter what it may be, with beautiful templates and the ability to customize just about anything so that you can make a gorgeous website all by yourself. But if you do get stuck, Squarespace has 24/7 award-winning customer support right there to help you out. So head to squarespace.com/read to start your free trial, and when you're ready to launch your site, use the offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Let them know Kid Fury and Crystal sent you. All right, let's move on.
In the beautiful 1950s set drama, Sylvie's Love, an aspiring TV producer played by Tessa Thompson and a saxophonist played by Nnamdi Asomugha cross paths one New York summer, sparking a deep passion that transcends time and career success. Stream Amazon Studios' Sylvie's Love this Christmas. It's only on Prime Video. Get cozied up and have a good stream. Now let's start the show. Hey guys, welcome back, niggas and friends and everybody on whatever side on the spectrum, or I don't know, whatever. Here we are. I'm Don Cheadle.
And I am Esther Roll. This is The Read. Thank you for coming back.
It is indeed. Thank you for coming back yet again in this weird hell vortex of a year.
Just keeps getting
rounding
crazy.
It out. And hopefully looking for bigger and better things in the new year, although I'm not holding my breath because literally all that's changing is some numbers. So there's that. So let's get our show started with some Black excellence as usual. This week it is going out to Nicholas Jackson, 13 years old, and from Maryland. He just won the championship for bull riding.
What?
The 2020 Junior World Finals in Texas took place not too long ago, a couple weeks, I think.
Of course.
And this young man, who I believe was 12 at the time, is the champ. His dad, in an interview, said that he's a fifth generation cowboy on his mom's side.
Yes, God.
And of course, they both had on their black cowboy hats and the rest of the, regalia. I don't. And I loved every fucking second of it. I was watching his actual performance, which was awesome. His dad is in the background. You can see him in the background cheering, doing the thing that black parents tend to do at these kinds of functions when their baby is doing well or not well. They're cheering them on and making their presence known. So they slayed it. And the whole time I was watching, I'm just like, I love black cowboys. I don't even know why.
Did you even grow up going to the rodeo or anything like that?
No, not at all. I think that's probably why. Because it's just, I don't know. There's something about seeing black people who are like real ass cowboys to me that is just like comforting. Maybe because I think typically if I saw a white person with the same clothes on, I would run.
Right.
So, okay. I don't know. Like, again, I don't know how to place this, but I just enjoy black cowboys a lot. And I thought this story was really cool. So you can check out the thing about this. Another reason I love black excellence stories like this, I really love talking about black people doing like things that you don't hear you don't hear people talking about us doing very often. I'm sure that he's not the only boy or girl in his age range that rides bulls or whatever. He said also in an interview that he did something called mutton where he was riding sheep.
Wait, okay, now see, I don't know nothing about riding those sheep, child.
Riding sheep. He called it some old sandy cheek shit that I had never heard in my life. And I was like, mutton busting. Yeah. So it sounds like
what a name.
Right. It sounds like it's like like a junior, like a kid's version of bull riding, because they're riding a sheep and it looks like it's maybe not as dangerous. I don't know. But when he said that shit, I was like, oh, you're legit. Like, you're valid. And like, yes, he's a 5th gen cowboy. Are you fucking kidding me?
I did not know that riding sheep was even a sport. I truly, I feel a little ashamed, as somebody from Oklahoma, I really feel like I should have known that. But yeah, congratulations, young Nicholas.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome. So I'm gonna look him up and show him some love. Even when I only saw this story because someone tweeted it to me, and the retweet that they sent me was someone else who was like, yo, this 12-year-old black kid just, won a championship for bull riding or whatever. And so when I looked it up myself and I Googled his name and everything like that, it wasn't a lot of like news outlets or places that were covering it either, which is what I mean by like, you don't really hear about black people doing dope shit like this, or like things that you don't hear about us doing very often, because I guess maybe people don't find it interesting, or maybe the media doesn't want to hear that black people do all the things.
I mean, well, there's a lot going on in the news right now, but even if it wasn't like just general chaos in the world ending, black cowboys and all that, that's pretty much a niche kind of thing. That's not really a diaspora kind of activity. You really got to be from a certain part of the country or have family who are into farming and cowboying and all that to even really be in that world. Like you said, you didn't grow up doing nothing with horses and cowboys and the rodeo and all that shit. That's like a part of the culture where I'm from. So yeah,
part of the culture in Miami is lizards.
Oh, and they scary, crazy colors and everything. You don't know which one to kill you or what.
Despise it. Like, she cannot stand lizards, and
she picked
they've never bothered me. As long as they are not in my house, I've never lizards don't really bother me that much. But typically, like, a lot of people who I know who've come to visit Miami, or family members who've come out or whatever, they are alarmed like the lizards just being wherever. But
yeah, it ain't too many bugs and things like that that'll scare me. But, lizards ain't scary till they get to dinosaur size.
Oh, yeah.
That's when I'm like, oh, you got to get the fuck out of here with that thing.
Ooh, fun. Let's find like a marsh or somewhere to take you.
Right. The animal control got to come tie your ass up.
Okay, so this week in our pop culture segment, which is called Hot Tops Miracle on 34th Fleet, we will begin...
that 34th Fleet, that's the charm.
It's always a miracle. That's when,
the magic happens.
Yeah, a clear stream.
Leave me alone.
Okay, so last week we talked about Ashanti and Keisha Cole's versus battle, which was upcoming. Well, guess what? That bitch is postponed. Why? Because Ashanti's got COVID.
Why else?
It's sad. It's upsetting to me and my homegirls because, the children went out and got their Von Dutch hats and their Victoria's Secret pink pants.
They found all that shit.
And their baby fat phones, the pink phones with the antenna. All of these things in preparation for the event that was supposed to cause them to break up with their boyfriend for the 4th time this year. And they couldn't have that fun because Ashanti has the COVID. One thing I found interesting, because I don't follow Ashanti, but she's posted on her Instagram, hey y'all, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I tested positive for COVID. I'm okay and not in any pain. I'm actually down to do the verse for my house. We're trying to figure it all out. She later did like a short stream thing with Keisha, where they were just kind of like talking to each other, trying to get, have positive vibes and assure the girls that they will do it when they can. And in that moment, Ashanti also said something like, never in my life would I think that I would get COVID or something like that. Or I think maybe she said that on a video she posted earlier, but whatever. She said something to that effect.
She did.
And the girls pulled out the receipts on her ass and was like, let's talk about all of these locations you tagged on each and every one of your Instagram posts for like the past couple months.
Let's do
Mama, you're on tour. Like, why would you think never in your life you would get it?
Yeah, we're not surprised you got it. We're surprised that you're surprised that you got it. That's it, sistren. So they did the FaceTime like you said, and Keisha Cole, I actually felt bad for her because she had clearly been in like full glam. She was dressed.
Bitch. Like,
Mama looks
that
good.
lip liner.
She was ready for the show.
That lip liner. And the fact that they both had a pronounced lip liner on that FaceTime sent me and the girls were mad that I pointed it out.
Yeah. Well, what took me down was when Keisha had said something like, oh man, it's too bad. We'll do it later, blah, blah, blah. And Ashanti was like, yeah, you know, the devil has just been so busy all throughout 2020. It's the devil's year and this. And I was just like, let's hold off on bringing Beelzebub into this because plenty of people, regardless of belief and religion and anything else, have contracted COVID. It literally has nothing to do with the devil and everything to do with breathing in COVID air.
Like, I would understand a person saying that if they were like, I don't know, somebody's sweet, innocent abuela that was just minding their business at the crib, and then their badass nephew or niece came in, and now all of a sudden they've got COVID.
Right.
Because mama wasn't doing nothing but minding
somebody
her fucking
who was
business.
minding their business. However, Ashanti was minding the Globe's business. Niggas said when they announced it, Ashanti is in Kenya right now. Are y'all sure? Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yes, probably spreading COVID all across Africa. Like, bitch, I felt like she could have handled the way she told us much differently. She probably would have received a lot less flack because when you act dumbfounded and like, oh, I just didn't know that this was even possible. It's like, who is supposed to have sympathy for you? Have you not been looking at the news or paying attention to anything at all year long? How do you not know by now? So,
well, glad to hear at least that she's not having crazy symptoms and hope you get well soon and you guys can have the fun. I think they said January 9th or 10th. Somewhere at the top of January 9th.
Yeah, they're giving us some time
to redo this one. So you girls have fun with that. Be safe as shit. I also did feel bad for Keisha because she was like done up. She was looking cute and was like ready to go in and remind the children, which I was reminded on my own throughout the weekend. I was like, oh my gosh, I did forget a scoop of Keisha's songs I actually really like. Sidebar also, this side-by-side photo that they used of Keisha on Variety.com to talk about this. She has like a short, almost like a buzz cut, like a blonde, and she looks so good. Like, I've never thought that Keisha was unattractive, but I've never seen her with hair this short, and wow, she looks amazing. And Ashanti looks pretty. She always looks pretty.
She's always been a pretty girl, so.
Yeah. Well, good luck, guys. Stay safe and
right. We're assuming Ashanti will recover and be right back. So, you know, still wishing her the best in her recovery.
I hear the next versus planned now, though, is going to be E40 versus Too Short.
What?
I know.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought it was Music Soul Child and who is that other nigga?
I can't even guess.
Oh my God.
I could,
I just pulled a total blank. I didn't hear nothing about E40 though. That seems a little, you know what? Never mind. Let me not.
Seems a little, you know what? I don't even need to ask you. I know what you were going to say.
Because I do not need everybody from California being like, excuse you. E40 is a legend. Anthony Hamilton. Yes, that's what I saw.
I don't think I even heard about that.
Yeah, that's the one I saw, but I don't know that that's true. I didn't see, it wasn't from like an official source or anything, so.
Well, watch out for the incense sales. Grab yours while you can.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. That's going to be, I would be excited for that, so we'll see if they actually do it.
Well, have fun, everyone from the Bay and the West Coast and just E40 Too Short fans. I feel like that's going to be a nice way to vibe out the end of the year, I suppose.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit of, you know, Oakland.
Oh, okay, sure. Why not? I mean,
bitch, you have a better idea. Hell, I'm just trying to be
I sure
positive.
don't. That's the thing. Like, I sure don't. And this year is so fucking ridiculous that, yeah, why not? Let's just do it.
So... Disney did a lot of announcing this past week. upcoming films. A lot of Marvel information, which some of it was exciting, some of it was confusing. But I had lots of fun with the Marvel news that's coming out. I can't wait for their shows and things. They also talked movies that are on the horizon. Apparently Hocus Pocus 2 was a go. I think they're making like Cars 70. And a Sister Act 3 is apparently in production. Officially.
Oh, okay. So I think it was just a rumor the last time we talked about it.
Yeah, I feel like the last time we talked about it, maybe it was Whoopi herself. I feel like someone was like, yeah, we're doing it. But that happens all the time with so many things. So, this sounds like, yeah, they're sincerely doing it, since Disney itself was like, hey, girl, check Disney Plus soon. Whoopi is going to be coming back to star as Dolores Van Katja.
Okay.
Katja.
Yep.
And apparently she's also producing. Fun fact, Tyler Perry will also be producing Sister Act 3. The one and only. The doll. And so when I read this, I said, you know what? Fine. Tyler Perry has produced movies or things before that aren't bad. I would probably be more concerned if they said Tyler was writing and or directing.
You know what? Yes, I will agree with you there.
Because a lot of times producing means that, I had a conversation with this person about it and we like each other's energy. Hey,
he's going to pay for some of this.
Yeah, or this person, is the reason this meeting happened or blah, blah, or they brought it into Hulu or whatever. So, being a producer doesn't, Tyler Perry being producer doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be what I might expect of the typical Tyler Perry movie.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
We'll see what happens. I'm more interested in what the plot will give. I hope it's not something super predictable. I hope it's not going to be some new young person is in the witness protection program and
oh Lord,
they join the same convent as Miss Dolores. I hope it's not something like that. It's just literally the same story with a new person. I'm so tired of that being the reboot. Zhuzh it up, do something interesting, get me in a way that I won't be expecting. That's what I would like.
Yeah, I just did a quick Google search trying to see if I could find out, if I could get a little synopsis or something, and I don't see anything yet, so I guess I'm gonna just wait on that. But as a grown person who just watched Hocus Pocus for the first time 2 years ago, I really want to see that. Yeah, my mama did not do Halloween, first of all. True. Keep the devil out of her home.
Hocus Pocus is literally one of my favorite movies ever. I've seen it hundreds of times.
Well, usually when y'all talk about a movie you loved as kids and I watch it as a grown adult, it is trash. But Hocus Pocus was actually pretty cute. I mean, it was a little cheesy, but it's for children. And it was, in the 90s. So, but I really did enjoy it. And I cannot wait to see that. I really want to see Hocus Pocus 2. So
Hocus Pocus 2 makes me nervous. The same way I'm a little nervous about the Sister Act 1. But no shade. I love Sister Act 1 and 2. But not as much as I love Hocus Pocus.
Really?
I feel way more. Yeah. I'm not saying one movie's better than the other. Yeah. I'm just saying that I really, really like Hocus Pocus. So I feel more personal or attached to that film. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to screw up either because I think they're both classics. But something about Hocus Pocus to me, especially because it's a movie that doesn't need a sequel. I don't think that Sister Act needed a sequel either, but Sister Act 2 is fantastic. So it's not even they did this sequel and we could have lived without it. So I look at Sister Act as something that fully has the capability of being another great sequel because they made a good sequel before. Hocus Pocus, I kind of want them to leave alone, but it could be cute as long as Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy are in those starring roles. I really don't give a fuck about what else they do.
Which I'm sure they will be. I just feel like Hocus Pocus has a lot more to work with than Sister Act. And it's because Sister Act has already given us 2 movies. So it's like there's certain storylines and stuff that we've already seen. And I feel like it's going to be harder for them to come up with something fresh for the audience. Whereas with Hocus Pocus, nigga, witches and technology, like I feel like that is just, you could go anywhere with that. So
you're so right, because a huge part of the original Hocus Pocus was like the fish out of water element of them dealing with the way that the times changed and seeing a bus for the first time and like
thinking that the paved road was some
sirens
river and shit.
So if they come back to like now and
phones, nigga,
honestly, that would probably
they're gonna
be
lose
fun
it.
In itself.
They're gonna lose it. So, but yeah, we'll see what these people do.
I'm down for both of them. I hope that Lauryn Hill is in Sister Act 3. Just tell her that filming starts next week, and she'll probably be on set within time.
Yes, at the appropriate hour. So, but I'm gonna watch either way. My Disney Plus is paid for. So I'm gonna look at it.
Right.
And didn't Marvel no, it was some studio. Some studio said they putting out all they shit on streaming services next year. Was it Warner Brothers?
I don't know.
Some studio said everything was going to streaming next year. Nothing was going just to theaters.
I feel like I've heard about someone. I think I've heard this, but I don't know who.
I think they said so. So I'll be watching movies probably from the house if I don't get the vaccine.
It's cute. Like, I don't be minded, pulling up a little $20 or whatever the fuck they want to charge you and watching these brand new movies right in my bedroom. I don't mind it.
They're putting everything on HBO Max the same day it comes out in theaters.
And HBO Max has been cute.
It is. The Fresh Prince alone.
Right. And Steven Universe is on there.
I love it.
I heard that Candyman, like the director of the Candyman sequel remake, was like, no, girl, we're not doing a streaming thing. When the girls are open, you'll see this movie in theaters.
Because you want to scare people.
I mean, like, I understand that, especially with horror movies, because a big part of horror movie fun is getting that experience in the theater and being scared with other people and hearing people shriek and all of that fun.
Yeah.
I love watching horror movies by my damn self too, but I understand where that lady was. I think it was a woman director. I might be wrong. But
yeah, it makes sense.
I understand.
It does. It makes sense. Watching Get Out with a bunch of niggas was very different than watching Get Out at the house by yourself.
Exactly.
It's a totally different experience.
Exactly. Rapper Tyga has started his own OnlyFans management company, Too Raw.
Oh my God.
With 2 W's in Raw. I'm not sure why, but I guess
all right.
It's different. So like when you see that, I don't know, whatever. So Tyga's been showing dick since September on OnlyFans, one of the few recognizable faces who's taking advantage of OnlyFans and actually posting sexual content. So he's decided to one thing about this nigga is I don't know how you constantly are allegedly being evicted or can't pay your rent or whatever, because this nigga stays with a job. Wrap Up reminded me that like at some point this year or last year he had like his own chicken nugget delivery app or something. Like I feel like I talked about this on the podcast.
I mean, you may have. I forget a lot of things we talk about on this show, but that sounds crazy.
I won't remember anything we talked about today by the end of today.
But as soon as we hang up, I'm going to forget 88% of it.
Anyway, Tyga says that he had a vision. I had a vision of turning Too Raw into an empire that is not only about management, but can be a full-service lifestyle creative company. Everything Too Raw is my own personal taste and aesthetic. I will be hands-on creatively, I'm sure. And with the management aspect.
Yes, he is.
The concept of OnlyFans has allowed people to connect with their fans on a more personal level, and it's allowing for more content-driven engagement. What the fuck does that mean?
As opposed to engagement driven by something else? What?
I think the girls just like the word
just
content.
Saying words. I found the Too Raw Instagram, and it looks exactly like you think it does.
I bet.
exactly like you think it does.
I haven't even glanced yet. Let me go ahead and take a click and see what we're getting.
He over here posing with all these girls.
Oh, what do you know? Butt cheeks.
Looking like Lena Waithe, just posed up with every last one of these women, and they have ass all over the. Are these custom 2 raw bikinis? They are.
Why wouldn't they have custom 2 raw bikinis?
Why wouldn't they? You're right. That's
I actually live like. I actually live.
This is not a bad
idea. Booty butt cheeks.
It's really not a bad idea. A management company to get these girls popping on OnlyFans.
I think I'm gonna follow.
There's a lot of fake ass on this Instagram.
I love it. I don't know exactly like why. And I really don't even need to see Tyga in any of these photos. Like, I'm just loving these women in their bikinis and legs wide open and clearly having a good time.
Yeah, I just feel like you doing something sexual with Tyga is probably like part of your contract. Because why is he posed with every last one of them?
What's the audition process giving, Tyga?
Yeah, I don't know about this, but listen, these girls are probably making more money in a week than most of us do in a year. So, good luck to everybody involved.
I just appreciate a nigga who's like actually not simply trying to use OnlyFans as a scam and an ass lick, but actually like, you guys want to see dick and ass on here? I'll give you some dick and ass. That's all the girls are asking for.
I guess if you want to be a 2 raw model, just send a DM. That's literally what it says on their Instagram.
That's how.
It literally says send us a DM.
I was literally in the middle of saying, I bet that's really how it works. And it is, because you were reading it from the page. This is ghetto ass trash, and I love it.
Fuck. And he probably taking 30% or something crazy off the top. Oh my God.
One of them will likely be on that weird white man's podcast who has like a fence as a background and has all of them hoes come on there and talk about what rappers.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Keep it that way.
Okay.
Moving on. Lil Wayne has apparently pled guilty to gun charges from last year. Mm-hmm. When federal agents found a gun on a private plane that he was on, they found a gun in his gold-plated pistol, I'm reading, in his luggage, along with bullets and all kinds of drugs and more cash than anyone should reasonably be walking around with.
Like $250,000 or something ridiculous.
I love that too. Am I a hood rat more than usual today? Because I just feel like, obviously the drugs and gun. Oh, no, don't do that.
Well, I mean, just what are you doing with that kind of money? Do you just feel like you're going to come across a trailer or something and be like, I just need that? What do you need all that cash for?
I feel like the reason I don't know is why I live.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like if I did know, I wouldn't care anymore or be as like enamored by it. Just the thought of some shit that I don't do, never will do, don't understand. Mm. These be the same ones though who like, oh my God, girl, you don't have a Birkin? Why don't you just kill yourself?
All right, sis.
So yeah, gun charges from last year, he just pled guilty to. Apparently his attorneys were like, girl, don't even play with these people. First of all, they don't care about you. And secondly, you literally had all of the things. So go ahead and say guilty before they whip your ass and have you in prison for 10 years as opposed to, the lighter sentence, which looks like it could be 1 to 2 years or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't
go at all.
Jail out. Right.
Yeah.
But that's what the doll's currently dealing with. Interested to know if his friend Donald Trump will help him out in this situation. Oh wait, he's getting evicted. So
he can pardon niggas still till his last day, but I just don't.
I mean, they just executed that black man that.
Oh my God!
Trying to help.
Yes, and apparently the administration has executed, like they have ramped up the executions, trying to get as many done as they can. So it's just
right. It's giving me like,
oh my God, I'm sick.
Rage, like yes,
yeah, yeah. I also read that Lil Wayne sold his masters for $100 million.
I read that too. Thanks for reminding me because I damn sure forgot. And I was like, I don't know things too much about masters, but I usually hear that artists want to hold on to them.
Yeah, because of the money.
And with as much music as this man has created in his career to sell all his masters, I would assume that he needed that money.
Yeah, honestly, I was feeling the same way. Like, I don't know if it's legal issues, like if he has to pay if he has to pay these attorneys for this Fed case that he's facing or what, or I don't know how Lil Wayne spends his money, manages it, the details of his deals, none of that.
Spends a lot on tattoos.
I just know $100 million sounds like a fucking lot. It does. $100 million sounds right. Like, that is a lot. That is 100 millions of dollars. Like, that is an unfathomable amount of money for me. But I'm just wondering if in the long run it's really gonna shake out to be a fair deal. Maybe it will. Maybe he's like,
right,
I'm here for a good time, not a long time, and I'm just gonna take this cash and slide some to Reginae and have a good time.
Right. When I read this at first, I was like, 100 million sounds kind of low. But again, I don't know. I really have no gauge for that kind of thing. Maybe one of y'all can help me out.
Yeah, like how much money is he getting every time one of his songs makes it in a movie or something?
Maybe nothing. I don't know.
I don't know enough about entertainment law and all that to be able to speak on it. But if you strap for cash and somebody says, here's 100 million up front altogether, then it's a lot harder to say no, because in 20 years you might make, 75 million.
Well, Wheezy F Baby is scheduled to be sentenced on January 28th.
After Trump is out of office. Okay.
So let's talk about Snoop Dogg.
Oh no. The fact that I don't know what he did, I'm nervous.
You think it's something good or bad?
Oh no, it's absolutely, it ain't no way it's good.
Oh my God, you're psychic.
No, I just know who Snoop Dogg is.
So Snoop Dogg was being interviewed, I think this was like a double XL show, Central Ave. It's being hosted by, or at least was hosted by, Julissa Bermudez, who I only know for hosting 106 in Park for a stretch of time at once.
Yes.
She looks great for intensive.
Did not know Double XL had a show.
I think it's like a part of their like YouTube. But the thing is, like, with everyone doing Zoom interviews and shit, like all of these shows look exactly the same. So at first I was like, this ain't that Claudia Jordan show. But then I realized, like,
right,
this is what everyone's pretty much doing. So they brought up Cardi B's WAP for whatever reason, and Snoop Dogg gave his opinion on it. He said, oh my God, slow down and let's have some imagination. Let's have some, privacy, some intimacy, where he wants to find out as opposed to you telling him.
What?
To me, it's like, it's too fashionable when that in secrecy, that should be a woman's. That's like your pride and possession. That's your jewel of the Nile. That's what you should hold on to. That should be a possession that no one gets to know about until they know about it. He also said that although his 21-year-old daughter lives, he said, my daughter's from a different era. She's from this era. She may be doing the WAP or a part of the WAP, and I can't be mad at it because it's her generation.
It's a different WAP, old man.
But at the same time, the things that I would rather see, because I'm an older man. Now, when I was young, 21, 22, I may have been with the movement. I probably would have been on the remix. Yes.
Yeah.
But as an older man, I love it that they're expressing themselves and they're doing their thing. I just don't want it that fashionable to where young girls feel like they can express themselves like that without even knowing that that is a jewel. They hold on to until the right person comes around.
Oh, wow. This nigga got a lot of nerve.
I said, okay, couple things. There's a few things I'd like to rummage through.
Yeah.
On the topic of you being from a different generation, nigga, your debut album came out 3 years before Kimberly Denise Jones' debut album. Foxy, Trina, they were all talking about their wet ass pussy in the same era, the same generation.
Yes.
You yourself, for a sizable chunk of your career, well into the 2000s and beyond, had this like pimp alter ego where you literally were constantly wearing the tacky suits.
Yep.
And the weird glasses.
The cane, all that.
The fucking bejeweled acrylics on your Coke pinky. You produced porn.
Yo, I forgot about that part. I really
And not
did.
just when you were 21, 22. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Like, are you legitimately out of your fucking mind? Snoop is high.
It really is the audacity. Like, what did he say? Something about young girls need to feel like they pussy is a jewel to hold on.
Their pride and possession, their jewel of the Nile.
Okay. So, this is...
That nigga be having some exclusive badass hybrids that are grown just for him, clearly. And I'd like for him to reconsider some of the things.
He absolutely has to.
I could understand maybe if this was like a pastor or a Republican politician, Ben Shapiro.
Or Chance the Rapper even.
Right. Something along those lines.
But a nigga
the new host of Blue's Clues
has rapped
Snoop Dogg
extensively about pussy and getting pussy. Like, maybe you should be thinking about when your career started, when you was 21, 22, and the things you said and the behavior that you encouraged and the generation of men that you influenced with your art and your actions. I just don't... there's zero self-awareness happening here. Like, yes, you are old and this is not your generation, but like you just said, niggas have been rapping explicitly about sex since rap even got popular. So I just don't... I really think it's... I'm at a loss for words. I just don't know how he found himself in a position to where he felt comfortable to comment on this and then talk about the impact that he didn't want it to have on young girls. Since when have you cared about young girls and healthy development and valuing themselves and all this? When has that ever been a priority for you?
Well, the thing that like super annoys me about this, I mean, besides the obvious, is it's like, yeah, you're doing this thing like, oh, I don't want young girls to think this, wait for the right man to come around. But none of y'all are talking to young men about being the right man.
Thank you. And that's like, the thing, like, you're not promoting that boys and girls get together and have some healthy, open relationship that isn't about sex. Like, you've never been about that, ever. Not ever, not one time has Snoop been the moral voice of anything. I just don't understand. How did we get here? Are you mad because women are owning it? Because that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous because the 90s was full of female rappers owning it. So... like, what is it about Cardi and Meg that gets these niggas so upset?
Rap women owning their sexuality has literally been a thing for most of your career.
Yep.
Like, maybe the music that you specifically yourself grew up on, you know, when Snoop Dogg was a kid, there was not likely a Lil' Kim on the radio.
Right.
But my nigga... you have a song called Pussy Sells. What are you talking about? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No matter how you look at it, even the old nigga excuse don't really make sense because this has been the state of rap for like 30 years. So I wish you had not told me about this. It don't make no sense.
What the fuck?
Niggas, man. They just be talking. Niggas literally just be talking. Did he have anything to say about men at all?
No. He did post like this weird ass backwards response on Instagram where he was like, stop with the bullshit press. I love Cardi B and Meg. Music, period, point blank. And they... oh, because there's a period here, so I didn't.
So you stopped because that's what the period means. Period means take a breath.
I love Cardi B and Meg music, period, point blank, and they know that I'm in full support of the female MC movement, so stop trying to make me a hater.
What?
Right. Exactly.
Your words are what made you a hater. Thanks. We didn't do that.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Get me out of here.
Then he puts UFDHB. And I honestly haven't found the energy to try and figure out what that's supposed to stand for.
UFDHB?
I know one of y'all will tell me I don't care. Now carry on before you get this LAD, which I easily figured out what that means, and ill. That song is 6 times platinum. Talk about that. And then he left it there.
Is LAD lazy ass dick? What is LAD? No, probably not lazy. Oh, no. Okay, no, that's not it. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop trying to figure out what these niggas are saying. And the fact that I know you are
dead serious too. Like,
it can't be lazy ass dick. No nigga would call their dick lazy.
Right, but the fact that you met him there is astounding.
I need to know what this means.
In the meantime, in between time, Cardi B accepted the Woman of the Year award at Billboard's recent Women in Music event that I think they do annually. And it was presented to her by Breonna Taylor's mom.
Okay.
Yeah, which was really sweet. And her mom looked so nice. And, she just talked about how Cardi didn't get to release as much as she would have liked to this year because of COVID. She couldn't shoot videos the way she wanted to, but she was happy that the song that did come out, people liked, and how it pissed off a bunch of Republicans for no reason.
Which we all loved.
And I also love her weird, long, Talon-esque fingernails. I just find these sharp nails that the girls are wearing, sharp, long nails, so visually appealing and also confusing. Mm-hmm. How do you do anything? I still think they're pretty.
I don't know. They're nice to look at, but I don't know how they're even remotely functional. I remember when Culture was born and I was just like, who's changing that baby? Your fingers are folded over on top of each other. Who is changing that baby?
Chloe and Halle also received Rising Star Award.
Deserved.
And it was obviously presented to them by one Beyonce, who was absolutely giving you a virtual from home moment with an updo, and maybe a simple beat, if one at all.
Yeah, filter. She definitely threw a filter on over that. Ain't nobody finna do a whole lot.
Yeah,
I'm finna fire up the Snapchat real quick. And she always makes sure that she's positioned to where you can't really see her nice ass house or her fucking orchard or whatever in the background. She always makes sure you only get her face and her. She don't never let us see shit, child.
Not a doorknob, bitch. Nothing. Mind your business. Get out of mine.
But yeah, that was very cute. And Chloe and Halle definitely deserve. Their album is one of my favorites of the year. So talented.
So talented.
Oh, I have stand for so long.
Also, Jessie Reyez, Dolly Parton, Dua Lipa, and Jennifer Lopez received awards or honors at this event. So congratulations, ladies.
Okay.
What else do we have here? Okay, my last story is upsetting. Did you hear about FKA Twigs suing Shia LaBeouf?
Yes, I did.
So, it was reported last week that Twigs is suing Shia LaBeouf, who is her ex-boyfriend, for relentless abuse throughout their relationship, including sexual battery, emotional distress, and assault. And she told some of the specifics of actual violent incidences as a result of him. And it was just I love her. I'm really a big fan of both of these people. So this just along with all the other trash ass news that came out of this past week has just been girl, what? It was one of those things where, she kind of expressed how reluctant she was to even opening up about it because you don't want to be, looked at as victim of something. You don't want to be judged for, you know, this thing that happened to you. But ultimately she said, you know, that she was doing it for women. She said, I'd like to be able to raise awareness on the tactics that abusers use to control you and take away your agency. I'm not even sure if she actually specified women specifically, but
yeah,
you know, raising awareness, letting people know this shit is real out here, and suing that man for what he put her through in the process, because those things completely outlast the incident themselves, and it's shit that people have to carry around with them forever. So I was very upset about this story. And Shia LaBeouf had, like, he made a statement which was like, it felt like it was adjacent, like it was almost good. Like,
did he take, I mean, I felt like he admitted it, but then
I'll read what I read.
Okay.
He said to the New York Times, although many of these allegations are not true, I am not in the position to defend any of my actions. Let me mention also that apparently there was another woman who echoed abuse allegations from him. So anyway, he says, although many of these allegations are not true, I'm not in the position to defend any of my actions. I owe these women the opportunity to air their statements publicly and accept accountability for those things I've done. As someone in recovery, I have to face almost daily reminders of things I did say and do when I was drinking. It has always been easy for me to accept responsibility when my behavior reflects poorly on myself, but it is much harder to accept the knowledge that I may have caused great pain to others. I can't rewrite history. Exactly. Now they can't see your face listening. Because
it's like, may have?
Oops. I can't rewrite history. I can only accept it and work to be better in the future. I write this as a sober member of a 12-step program and in therapy for many failings. I am not cured of my PTSD and alcoholism, but I am committed to doing what I need to do to recover. And I will forever be sorry to the people that I may have harmed along the way. So you see what I mean?
Like, yeah, because you could have just
I appreciate the transparency about, you know, the struggle of alcoholism and the other things that he's dealing with, and I can sympathize with that to an extent. But it was just like, girl, for an apology, like, I don't know if the statement itself, because I'm not reading this from the New York Times, but the first fucking thing that I read was him saying, although many of these allegations are not true. And it was like, what was the point of adding that in there?
Right.
You know, because you're not specifying what's not true, and you should not right now anyway. You're literally being sued for this, so you have to talk to somebody about it anyway.
Right.
This is the way that I see it. But being like, many of these allegations are not true, but I'm not in the position to defend any of my actions. And then, yeah, the whole may have hurt stuff was also like,
I think you did hurt.
Sounds like you did.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not nearly the worst fucking statement I've heard an abuser make, but I didn't think it was a great one. So I was very disappointed.
Right. I don't really pay too much attention to Shia LaBeouf, so
I loved him.
I mean, he was fine on, not Mikey in the Middle, Malcolm in the Middle.
Shia LaBeouf was not on Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh. I mean, he was fine on
I feel like you're
Kim Possible. Not Kim Possible.
No,
Even Stevens.
One more time. There you go, sweetie.
Even Stevens and Holes.
Oh, yes, he was also in Holes.
That's where I remember him from. So, yeah, he was cute on Even Stevens and all that, but I have not really paid attention to him. So I still thought he was out here, you know, just being a typical white boy who was a child star, drinking and doing drugs. I had no idea about, you know, all his mess and that he was in a 12-step program and therapy and all that, which is good. But like, I just feel like the statement, a few little tweaks could have gone from being okay to like something where you actually took responsibility. But also your lawyers probably did not want you to take responsibility.
True that.
Very so true. I just am disgusted and believing the women and the Black women in particular always. So I hope she gets whatever money, because it's not like money makes up for what you did, but she deserves to be compensated at the bare minimum. And I saw just now when I Googled about it that Shia released a statement too, saying that Shia had did the same thing to her, and apparently they had used to be friends or something.
Sia, the singer?
Oh, Sia. Sorry, not Sia. Yeah.
That covers her face all the time?
Yeah, that Reaper girl. She sure did.
What?
Yep. She said the same thing, and apparently he was in one of her music videos back in 2015.
Yeah, no, he was. And that music video got like a ton of flack because he was like dancing around with this little girl, and I feel like he was wearing like
I don't want to look at that.
You could just Google about it and read why, because it was odd. But yes, I forgot that they had ever done anything together. So that felt random. But now that you mention it, I did forget about that weird ass video. Yeah. Wow.
She said the same thing. I guess I'm just not keeping up with white culture enough to be, on top of it. But a mess.
Prayers for everybody. Twig specifically,
right,
and anyone else who's dealing with situations. Because one of the things I saw her post on Instagram when she was talking about it, which was like a huge eye opener for me, even though we may have discussed it, but it was like so many people are trapped with abusers right now.
Oh yeah, definitely are,
and it's hard to get away under normal circumstances. So, much love and positive vibes out to everybody. Hug yourself. That's me hugging you, but from here. That's it for the hot tops. Before I officially move on, though, I wanted to say, rest in peace to Tommy Lister, Tiny.
Yes,
actor famous for things like Friday, The Fifth Element. He played Debo. He was also in the fucking Dark Knight. He was in like every fucking show in the 90s. He was on Fresh Prince. He was on Martin. He was on Moesha. He was on the Jamie Foxx show. He was on like everything. So
yeah,
he was in the fucking Remember the Time video. So
he damn sure is.
Yeah, it's like
one of those faces again where you just like, I have seen you a trillion times, but of course, as soon as I see him, Debo is what instantly pops into my mind, because Debo was just
for most of it.
Iconic.
Yes.
Truly was. And another loss, and I think he had COVID related problems.
Well, they said that he did have COVID and symptoms and stuff like that earlier in the year, but like they're still apparently investigating his cause of death or whatever. It's not like official yet, is what I read last. But
yeah, rest in
once
peace.
again, another Black, icon / legend, another Black person that I grew up watching, just gone.
Yep.
And all of the fucking sweaty, toxic, hog-ass zombie Republican bitches are just like, evil keeps them alive.
Breathing freely. It is, deeply unfair. Rest in peace.
Getting COVID and easily fucking recovering and bouncing back because they got all of the fucking potions and, vaccine prototypes or whatever. You want some sports shorts?
What happened in sports?
This one actually isn't really that sporty. And an NFL commissioner, which means that he gets a percentage of the sales of the NFL. Roger Goodell, Roger Goodell said that the NFL players and personnel will not be jumping the line for COVID vaccines ahead of Super Bowl Louis Vuitton, which is scheduled for February 7th, 2021. Although the event is drawing near, he says, we are not planning on any of our personnel being vaccinated in advance of the Super Bowl, which is supposed to be taking place in Tampa. So the girls will be out there, having a great time. The Weeknd's going to be performing, and they will play so many plays.
Oh, he is. He really is performing.
I wasn't joking.
I thought you was bullshitting.
And they will play sports where they will be playing football. So that's your sports short for this week specifically. No word on who exactly is going to be playing in the Super Bowl because I couldn't find it.
Well, the season is not over.
Exactly. because they still have to play off the girls, you know? And the people from different regions and districts and stuff, they play off. And then the baddest bitch and the other baddest bitch, then they go to the Super Bowl.
Not you looking up who was going to be in the Super Bowl when ain't nobody won a division championship or nothing yet, Jesus.
Well, that's not the point. The point is that I like to be informed. And so I try to, you know, find predictions and opinions from my other sports analysts. Personally, I think things are looking really great for the Bucks. No, for the for the person that you really like.
The Saints?
Them. And so I have a good feeling about football.
Oh my God. Do you?
That's it for the sports shirts this time. And we're going to take a break and then letters. Hey guys, when you're selling anything online, getting a massive amount of orders out of the door can be tough, especially times like now when so many people are buying all kinds of things online all the time. How do you keep track of who gets what, and are you getting the best rates? That is why we love ShipStation. It's the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to manage and ship your orders. We use ShipStation ourselves to get our Read merch shipped out to you guys. Thanks for buying it. In just a few clicks, you can manage orders, print out just discounted shipping labels, and get your products out fast, resulting in happier holidays for you and for your customers. No matter where you're selling, whether it's on Amazon, Etsy, your own website, ShipStation brings all your orders into one simple interface, saves you a lot of frustration and headache. It works with all the major carriers, including USPS, FedEx, UPS, and even international. So, like I said, use it all the time for our merch and things like that. It's pretty easy to use. So if you're someone who's selling God only knows what, you might want to check it out to make your life a little bit easier. And right now, the Read listeners can try ShipStation for free for 60 days when you use offer code READ. Make sure your business is ready to meet the demands of this massive online shopping season. It's already lit. Get started at ShipStation.com today. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in READ. That's ShipStation.com. Then enter offer code READ. ShipStation.com. Make ship happen. Gosh, I love that tagline. Let's get back to the show. All right, so listen, we're back, and it is now time to read your letters.
Yes, it is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may read your letter aloud on the show. First and foremost, we got quite a few emails from Facebook employees who said, yes, I am Black and I work at Facebook. We do have secret groups.
Of course you do.
And we have been loving the Boosie story. They can't get enough.
Yes, man.
They're having a good old time over there at Facebook Noir. So
I know that Facebook group chat and shit is like they cracking up.
Got to be.
Because not only does Mark not know who he is, probably none of their white coworkers except the insufferable ones know who Boosie is. Like, you know, they've got like a scoop of white coworkers that do know who Boosie is and come up to them and try and, you know, engage in whatever dumbass Black conversation. Like, have you heard about Boosie?
Leave me alone, girl. If you know about Boosie because you have a Google alert for Facebook coming to your email, leave me alone. Don't talk to me no more about this. So, thank you to the Facebook employees who emailed us. We also got an update from Michelle, who wrote us last week about having issues with feeling ugly on Zoom and that sort of thing. So she said, I just wanted to let you know that your comments and advice were very helpful and encouraging. I really took the fuck y'all you told me to give everyone the heart. Your reaction also gave me quite a laugh, so thank you. When I look at how my life has played out, especially in 2020, which has been so trash for so many people, I am really blessed. It could always be worse. Thanks for mentioning that you discuss this with your therapist and that it takes a while to deal with such deep-seated negative, self-deprecating thoughts. Good to know what to expect when I finally hash this out with a professional. I don't think I'll be getting in anyone's face anytime soon declaring my undeniable beauty, but hopefully I can at least get over my Zoom issues soon. Love and thanks, Michelle. Glad it helped.
I'm glad to hear that.
Michelle. Yes, good for you, Sistren.
That was a good revelation. Like, I saw a video today of Lizzo where she was talking about, like, I think coming home or something like that. And, you know, she got undressed and she was just thinking about how much she hates her body, and she just felt so uncomfortable, and she was having all of these self-deprecating thoughts. And it broke my heart, but I appreciated the fact that she recognized it as a thing that's okay. It's normal. A lot of people, you know, have similar feelings, and you still do the best that you can to combat that with positive thinking and stuff like that. And so it felt kind of bittersweet, because on one end I was like, oh, I don't want you to feel bad, especially because people are always, you know, giving her bullshit anyway. But I think that that's a really good point. You know, it's like, you're not even almost the only person that
not even close
goes through that. And people that you may think are beautiful, your own, or conventionally pretty or whatever, feel the same way about themselves a lot of the time too. So you're fine. You are beaut-miss, because God made you that way.
Period. So yeah, good luck to you and everybody else struggling with self-image these days, because shit is very real out here. All right.
Yeah.
Our first letter this week comes from Samara, who says, I am trapped in quite the predicament. I'm lucky because I'm still employed during these crazy times, but my boss is a complete lunatic and a COVID denier.
Oh my God. How?
I live in Washington and we have very strict stay-at-home orders. I am able to do all my work remotely, but my boss mandates that we work in the office because, quote, it's good for office morale. White nonsense. In any other circumstance, I would just quit, but the job market sucks.
Yeah.
My main problem is that my boyfriend is justifiably livid that I am going to the office because I am putting him at risk. I've tried talking to my boss about this, but she will not budge. Do you have any advice on how to make my boyfriend more comfortable, or what I can say to my boss to convince her to let me work from home? Thanks so much, Samara.
No, I don't. Like, oh my God. Like, this is the type of shit that, like, is such a burn. Like, you and your dumb fuckery have all kinds of ripple effects in people's lives past just, you know, you putting their health at risk.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting everyone who they encounter's health at risk as well. The people that they have to go home to. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. How are you a COVID denier still? Like, how?
A science denier.
Like,
it just does not make sense.
How are you anybody's boss? How are you someone that has people report to them? Like, you call shots and you're this fucking, like, oblivious? I don't understand. I have to assume that your boss voted for Trump and that there is not going to be much talking sense into them, because they usually lack it. And again, like, I don't know a reasonable excuse or you know, response for your boyfriend, because his concerns, his frustration is completely justified. Yep. Besides the fact, like, nigga, I gotta go to work. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it boils down to, which is fair because you do, you know, but like, really, who needs to be getting the fucking dragging here is this insane woman that you work for. Office morale.
Woo.
You know what would not be great for office morale? The girls in the office dropping the fuck dead one by one because you are making them get sick. Like, how is it good for office morale if I know that when I leave the office, I'm going to deal with someone who is incredibly upset and frustrated with me. I'm probably not getting no dick, etc., because of what's going on at the office. I'm here knowing that this shit is fucking up my life, not just my health, but my relationship on top of that. I don't know, man. Because I get, like, my mama said, normally I would just quit. I said, well, amen. You know what I mean?
Because you would have done the same.
Because I would have done the exact same thing.
Absolutely would have, yes.
But not in this fucking economy. Oh, man.
Yeah.
White people, ugh.
It's so irritating because you can work from home. You can do it from home.
Yes.
And yet your boss is just being a stupid bitch. That is just endlessly frustrating.
Literally.
But at the same time, I understand why you're not just like, well, fuck this job, because when are you going to get another one? And they might be just as ridiculous about the virus too. So
that
might just be fucking yourself over for no good reason. So, I mean, honestly, I would probably put on my like investigative white woman hat and start thinking in a how can I minimize the damage type of way. So if you and your boyfriend, if y'all have multiple bathrooms or something like that, then, or even if, you know, when you come home from work, if you can just like take off all your clothes and go get in the shower or whatever immediately as soon as you get home, then that might make him feel better about whatever might be lingering on your person. But if everybody at work is wearing a mask all day long, then your risk is going to go down. I have a feeling, though, that because your boss is a Trump supporter, that means they're real lax about the whole mask situation. And people either wear them or they don't. And they hollering in the break. Right. It's probably a mixture of it. So, you know, at that point, I would probably try to like start keeping documentation of them violating whatever orders the state has, because there's probably some rule or law that they're supposed to mandate everybody wearing masks and they're just not doing it. Something like that. I don't know. Like, I mean, that's the thing. You can sit here and document everything, take notes, take pictures, have all your little evidence or whatever. And it still won't necessarily mean that your boss or your job is going to do the right thing.
Right.
So if I were you, I would just do everything I could to minimize the risk to my boyfriend while I'm at work. Like, I'm keeping my mask on no matter what. If you have an office, your own office, even better, because you can just shut the door and tell niggas to fucking slack you if they got something to say and don't come in here breathing my damn air. Yeah, something like that, just to keep the risk as low as possible. But it's going to be up to your boyfriend whether he can handle that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's mad, but is he mad enough to move out? Is he mad enough to break up with you? All you can do is all you can do. It's unreasonable to ask somebody to quit their job right now because the government is doing fuck all to make sure that you can take care of yourself in the middle of the panorama. So I would tell him, look, this is what I'm doing to make sure I don't bring COVID home to you or me. You know, like, I don't want the shit either. So this is what I'm doing.
Right.
However, I cannot quit my job. And if you feel like the risk is still too great for you, I understand. And you're going to have to make some decisions. But I'm doing my very best.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Like, and there are so many people who are essential workers, the kind where you have to leave your house to get your work done. And they have to be around Trump supporters all day long because they're in food service or something like that, or they live in a city or a state where nothing is closed, and so they got to be a fucking bottle girl at the club, or they got to work at amusement parks or whatever, and have niggas breathing in their face, in and out, all day long. Like, you're not the only person who is in this terrible and incredibly difficult situation. But I just don't think there's much else that you can do other than protecting yourself as much as possible and letting your boyfriend know that you understand if he can't handle it.
Yeah.
If he's like, you know what, this is actually too scary, I'm finna move back in with my parents and maybe I'll holler at you once everybody's vaccinated, then, you know, maybe y'all can just have a Zoom relationship till then. I really don't know. But asking you, I mean, you didn't say that he's asked you to quit your job, but it's unreasonable to be expected to do that, which is why I am so angry at this government.
Yeah.
Like, you can be mad at people for going out and traveling and all this other shit all you want to be. And I am. And I talk about it all the time. But it should not even be an option. The government should have had all this shit, all the extra shit shut down. It shouldn't have even been an option for y'all to go breathe in waiters' faces and all this shit. And especially for people who can do their work from home, it should not even be a conversation. Load up the fucking computer, log into this bitch, and get your work done. So, yeah, I feel for you more than anything, but you might, you know, your relationship might just have to suffer because of that, and you can blame it on Donald Trump.
And this woman that you work for. There's like, because I don't...
Right. Because what a ridiculous bitch. Office morale? Who gives a fuck?
I want to believe that those of you who are working from virtual offices right now, that your morale is way better than it would be if you were in the office, even in regular time.
100%.
Because plenty of y'all get to wear your pajama pants, your snacks be right there next to you in front of your computer or whatever. You know what I mean? Some of y'all just be doing your hair and makeup with the camera turned off, just having a good old time.
Oh, yeah, chilling.
I mean, I feel like a lot of y'all are comfy. You know,
not wearing no pants.
Doing this stuff virtually. So I feel like the opposite would actually be great for office morale. That woman is a monster. I say she's a terrorist. And I agree that you should definitely be making documents or taking some sort of documentation and seeing what could be done about that. Because who knows when it's going to be like, oh, well, we don't really have to worry so much about working in the office or because I know that the vaccines apparently just hit the street. Half the damn nation doesn't even want to hear anything about them. Mm-hmm. And we don't know shit about them. So, you know, like, it's not like, oh, yeah, you know, by February, it'll be probably fine. So,
no, probably not, actually. Right.
But I do agree that it is, it's unreasonable for your boyfriend or for anybody else to expect you to just quit your fucking job. It's not like people are tripping and falling into work these days. So,
yeah. And it's also unreasonable to expect him to just sit back and be okay with being exposed to COVID.
True
like,
that.
It's unfortunate because other people are putting y'all in a position that really sucks for you and your relationship. But you know, all you can do is face it and do your absolute best. And I pray that you don't get sick and that y'all are able to make it work. But yeah, it's just tough times. So
yeah, I hope at least they are masked up and trying to do something distance-wise.
I just have a feeling they not. I just have a feeling they not.
I have a feeling that the boss is damn sure not wearing a fucking mask.
Right.
So that's at least one person who's walking around willy-nilly, probably hovering over your fucking shoulder at your desk and just breathing all over your fucking, like, the back of your neck.
I don't know if a lawyer would do any good or if a lawyer can even do anything about it, but it should be that if you can demonstrate that you can do all your work from home, then you should be allowed to do that while the pandemic is completely has the nation in a fucking chokehold. That should be a thing. That really should. So
I totally agree.
Oh, okay. Good luck to you. Our next letter. Oh, hold on here. We got, oh, my bad. I missed this update. We got an update from Riju about Breath of the Wild, who said, since I wrote in, I made it my mission to play the game at my own pace, and I ended up defeating Ganon long before he did. I've gotten really good at this game, and now he has no choice but to shut up and leave me alone. Can't wait to play Hyrule Warriors. Thanks for the help. So glad it worked out, sis. Too many men be running their mouth about video games and don't know what the fuck they be talking about.
Right? Are you really trying to mansplain The Legend of Zelda to me, bitch?
Leave me alone, bitch. I've been playing this game since I was 6.
Let me play the game, girl.
Okay. Our next letter comes from Mondo, who says, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, and I recently moved back to Oklahoma City after leaving New York City earlier this year.
Amen.
I first moved to OKC in 2012 from Dallas because I felt like I needed to put some distance between myself and my siblings because we have a mom who could not take care of her kids. Naturally, the responsibility fell on me as the oldest. Now at 27, I want to prioritize having a better relationship with my siblings because they have families of their own. So now we all live in the OKC area together and we are working on building our bond. Here's where I need some advice. Both of my brothers have kids now, but I noticed that their parenting styles are just like my mom's and I hate it. I've talked to my therapist who says I'm like an uncle dad since I'm the one making sure their kids have what they need when they come over for stuff like sleepovers. My brothers are the type to forget their kids' own shoes. Make it make sense.
I should not laugh.
Men are just so absurd. Shoes?
How the fuck you forget your baby's
I mean, and I get it. In Oklahoma, a lot of people go around barefoot, but that is just ridiculous, girl. In the whole ass car, I mean, anyway. Also, because I'm spending a lot of time with my nieces, I am seeing the world through the eyes of a 2- and 4-year-old, and I wouldn't want anything to happen to them. I know that I'm breaking cycles of abuse and trauma, and I can't help but get angry and wonder, where was that for me when I was a kid? And why am I trying to fix shit that I didn't break? Both really good questions. My friends say those aren't your kids and you're putting a lot of this on yourself, but it's not that easy because I feel like if something happened to my nieces, I would be responsible even though I'm not their parent. Do you all have any advice to help me get through these feelings? Thanks, Mondo.
I mean, it wouldn't be your fault because you're literally not responsible for the children. Yeah, they're not yours.
You are not.
But you feeling sensitive about it and, you know, having a desire to be involved or helpful is because you empathize. You have experienced, you know, not great parenting yourself. And you have the attempt, or you know, have the desire to break that cycle. Honestly, I feel like I would just try to fasten myself into their lives as like a shoulder, an ear. I would try to be the fun uncle that they can rely on to just let them talk and listen to them and hear them out and stuff like that. Because, I mean, if you and your siblings have already got like a weird relationship when it comes to conversing about these things or not, I don't know how you going to your brothers and being like, do the fuck better would fare. I mean, I think it is 1000% reasonable to say, hey, nigga, pack the kids' shoes. like, you know, like something beyond like that. Reasonable. Yes. Like, that's not a read that you need to hold back. Like, you can absolutely say, so just quick reminder, children eat food, you know? So like, right. You know, like little things like that, I think absolutely can and should be brought up because my word, nigga, make an effort. But at the same time, you know, not everybody has a relationship or, you know, the room to be like, let me talk to you about your kids. Not everybody wants to do that. I feel like if it were my brothers, I absolutely would read them because they already know what I give. So like, you know what I mean? But that's the relationship that we have. I will drag them at any time I feel like they're stepping out of place. And they're free to do the same thing to me, but I'm the oldest. So it's like, girl.
What are you really going to say?
Like, so yeah, I don't know. I think that having a conversation about the attempt to break the cycle itself could be helpful depending on how it's done. Meaning rather than being like, y'all need to do better in the way that you know, talk to them or raise them or whatever, like kind of go on a trip of like, remember the shit that we dealt with? That suck. Yeah, we gotta be better. Like we need to, you know, I feel like you could steer the conversation in a way that can kind of get through to them, but I also wouldn't expect much because niggas, and also because these, you know, are not your children. So sometimes people just be like, you know, they'll get very triggered and like sensitive when, you know, anyone brings up their parenting and stuff. But it's like, sorry, maybe you forgot you brought the baby's bare ass feet over here to my house. So throw that out there. But yeah, if anything else, like I said, I think I would just try to make sure that those kids know that they can always rely on me. If daddy or mommy or brother or sister or friend at school or whoever the fuck is making them feel small or, you know, invalid or whatever.
So yes, all that is super good advice. You said that you have been kind of stuck with anger and wondering like, how come you didn't have somebody who had their shit together looking out for you as a kid, which is highly, deeply relatable for me. And I definitely get super protective about my nephew who is older than your nieces. He's 8 at this point. So
damn, I can't believe that boy is grown.
It's like, really crazy.
Like, what?
He's obsessed with video games. He did not want to go to college until I told him he could study video games. And now he wants to be a developer. And he is just so funny and bright and like sweet and open. And I love talking to him. I love FaceTiming with him because he always wants to do something stupid or fun or like play some game with me that I don't get, like Minecraft and Fortnite and all that shit. So
Among Us,
which He always wants to leave the room if he's not the imposter. He wants to be the imposter very badly all the time. So.
I mean, it's fun. Yeah.
I get that because I don't want my nephew to struggle with any of the things that I struggled with growing up. And I have definitely had to like fight that feeling of if I don't save him, then something is wrong. When first of all, he's definitely living a different life than I did because he does not have the parents that I had, first of all.
True. Yeah.
And secondly, he does have an adult in his life who has been to therapy and who is working on their shit and who is there for him, like a trusted adult that he can really talk to about anything and not worry about being judged or made fun of or whatever else. He has that in me. Now, you didn't have that for yourself, and it's okay to grieve that for you, but you also need to be careful about taking on the responsibility for everything to do with these kids because these are not your kids.
Yeah.
That is just the plain fact of the matter. And like Kid Fury said, maybe you can talk to your brothers about it. Maybe they'll be willing to hear it. Maybe they won't. If you're the only one who's in therapy, then you might be the only one who can even identify the fucked up shit that's going on. And they might not even look at it as like an issue. But if you also were always the one in the caretaker role, then they might be used to you being like a sort of junior parent figure. And so if you say something, maybe they are more likely to listen to it because you were the one taking care of them anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel like it's no harm, no foul, especially if you're a free babysitter. Niggas are very reluctant to give up free babysitting. So I would feel free to say something to my brothers about it. If I were you, just be like, I've noticed a few things with my nieces that I'm concerned about because we went through the same thing and I just don't want them to have the same bullshit to deal with that we had to deal with. And then just see where the conversation goes from there. It doesn't have to be like you accusing them or blaming them necessarily.
Right.
Just saying, I've noticed this about the girls and I've noticed it makes them feel this way. And then that way it's like, okay, so do we want these children to feel that way? Yes or no? Is there something we can do about this? Yes or no? Like, it opens it up as opposed to being, yo, you niggas are straight trash as parents and y'all need to get y'all shit together. And how did you grow up seeing mommy act like this and then do the same shit? Like, people, the defensiveness goes up and then the conversations absolutely do not reach a resolution. So I would approach it like that, but you have got to, and the more you work with this with your therapist, I think the easier it will be, but you have got to let go of the idea that it will be your fault if the kids go through something that you couldn't protect them from. Because you just, you're not their parent. You can't be there all the time. The decision is not ultimately yours. All you can do is your very best. And like Kid Fury said, be there for the kids if they need to talk to somebody or they need an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the best you can do.
Good luck.
Let's see here. Should we do one more? There's a question here about Ironheart, the Disney Plus adaptation.
Oh, yay!
Okay, well, Kid Fury, an alumna of my university, is set to play Ironheart in the new Disney Plus adaptation.
Oh, look at you!
All the black kids are super hype because our alumna is playing such a big role after just graduating. I want to know what you think the adaptation is going to be like. Are you excited for it? And what do you hope to see on screen from the comics? This was from Leilani, who knows that I don't know what Ironheart is. So, but yes.
Black Iron Man, Iron Woman.
Oh, now what is Iron Man? I've heard of it, of course, but I've never seen it.
Robert Downey Jr. played Iron Man on screen for like 10 years, some shit like that.
Oh, wow, okay.
A red and gold suit of armor that he flies around in.
Oh, yeah, I know what he looks like. Just don't know, his story or anything. All right.
That's mega rich, billionaire, hot guy that, ends up wounded and makes a suit to help keep him alive and make him a total badass.
Is this like Batman?
Sure, why not?
Okay. All right.
Less
so a black man is
angsty.
playing Ironheart? That's nice.
Woman!
Oh, a black woman. Okay, shut me up.
I think the actor's name is Dominique Thorne. But she's going to be playing Riri Williams, which is like, she's basically a super smart black girl who made her own damn Iron Man suit. And I believe that Tony Stark, who is Iron Man, like took an interest in her by this, and then she becomes new Iron Man, Ironheart, and she has a really dope suit, and I'm in love. I think she's like a relatively new character to the comics and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited because honestly, I wouldn't have expected an Ironheart adaptation anytime soon. So the fact that they're making a Disney Plus show is exciting to me, and they've got like a Miss Marvel coming out sometime next year.
Nice.
So fun things for the girls. I am very excited about that. And something else, I feel like there was another announcement that excited me in the same vein, but I can't remember what it was.
Do you have any predictions for the movie or show? I don't know which one it is.
I think it's meant to be a series on Disney Plus. I don't know at all what to expect, truly. Like, I don't know if they're going to try to adapt a story from the comics or if they're going to do something different. I kind of expect that they're going to probably do something that is connected to whatever. Oh, she was in If Beale Street Could Talk?
Ooh, okay. So I'll probably know her face then.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the shows and films and stuff that they're working on are going to attempt to be tied in together in some way. So I don't really know what to expect, but I also couldn't give a fuck if he paid me because I am going to watch it. Like, I don't give me a badass black chick, you know, and some rich brown skin. And she can fly, my word. And just don't even get me started to when we finally get our new X-Men and they inevitably cast the correct Storm. I don't even have one. It's just I know that they will pick.
They will find the right one.
I feel like yes. So that is how I feel about that, and also the fact that they are not recasting Black Panther because of course they weren't. That would have
no.
Past disrespectfully wouldn't have made any sense because there's so many other things that they could do, even with Chadwick Boseman's unfortunate and untimely passing. So making it official was fine, I guess, but I damn sure didn't expect them to do anything different because, you know, we would have burned shit down.
Yeah, no, there's no way. The fans would have absolutely rioted. So not at all shocked by that. But since Ironheart is a black girl, then I guess I'll look at...
You probably think it's cute.
Okay. You know, I like the Miles Morales Spider-Man, so...
I mean, that was a fantastic movie.
It was so good.
Just period. So, of course, yeah. But this... I mean, again, I don't know if it's going to be like... Maybe it might be like one of those shows that's sort of targeted at a younger demographic. Maybe it might give like grownish vibes.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like, I like the show, but in many scenes I also feel like this should be like... I should be like 15 years younger watching this. But
no, you're still gonna get your life.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm gonna watch it any fucking way. I can't wait.
Whew, okay, well, that is gonna wrap up this week's questions. Send yours to asktheread@gmail.com. We're gonna take a quick break and be right back. Hey y'all, this week's episode is also brought to you by Skillshare. This holiday season, give a gift that means even more by getting creative and learning how to make the perfect handmade gift with Skillshare's online classes. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. You can explore new skills, deepen your existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Skillshare offers membership with meaning, with so much to explore, real projects to create, and the support of fellow creatives. Skillshare empowers you to accomplish real growth. So give a gift that's one of a kind, completely personalized, or perfectly imperfect, because who doesn't want to learn how to do something new? When you put time, effort, and creativity into a gift, it shows how much you care. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable, especially when you compare it to the pricey in-person classes and workshop, to the point where an annual subscription works out to be less than $10 a month. Again, Skillshare has been something that has been like so clutch for me this year because I've been spending a lot more time at home like most people, and pretty much anything you're interested in as far as the creative passion, Skillshare got you covered. Animation, film and video, illustration, music, photography, all kinds of topics and classes available on Skillshare. So explore your creativity at Skillshare.com/thereadpod today and get a free trial of premium membership. Again, Skillshare.com/thereadpod. Check it out. They have so much for you to dive right on into and learn from. So again, Skillshare.com/thereadpod. Let them know we sent you, and let's move on.
This week's episode is also being brought to you by Squarespace, where you can turn your idea for a website into a reality. They make it incredibly easy to launch projects of all kinds, whether it's, you showcasing some art or some other kind of work, or having a store online, or just, some kind of a blog. Any website you can think of. You can have great templates and have your website look like something one of a kind and sleek and professional, and the ability to customize just about anything you can think of with a few clicks. You can make a great looking website and help your site grow in real time with their analytics. They've got a 24/7 award-winning customer support line also. So if you do get stuck on anything, you have people there to help you. Everything's optimized for mobile right out of the box, so you don't have to patch or upgrade anything. It's great. Head to squarespace.com/read for a free trial now. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code READ to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or a domain. That's squarespace.com/read. Offer code READ. Go and make something pretty, and let's finish the show. All right, so time to wrap things up here with the read. I will start.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say this week.
I am going to pass my read this week.
Pass the read like we used to.
And I really enjoyed this email because it was funny and also a super first world problem. So
okay,
I was entertained. Okay, so the subject says Bath and Body Works is clearly run by Republicans. You're a failure. Alrighty. She says, I'm sitting on the phone waiting for a Bath and Body Works customer service rep because honestly, I'm pissed. There's a global pandemic going outside, and Bath and Body Works has decided to have its once a year $9.95 candle in the same fashion it does every year in the middle of a pandemic. That means a sale is available online for 1 day and in stores for 3. As an initial matter, what the hell? What are you doing? Why would you do this? Why of all years would you continue to host this as though people aren't dying merely by inhaling the musty breath of one overly eager shopper who knows they have COVID, but they just couldn't resist a candle sale? So you're now going to subject us all to your stupidity and force us to go in the store if we don't shop online for the 1 day, which is also proving to be an epic fail due to your asshat IT team. Hold on for that point, please. It's already not enough that y'all clearly overpriced these candles. Now, on the 1 day we can get them cheaper, you decide to host a sale in the same format as any non-pandemic year, and the site keeps fucking crashing because more people are shopping online than any year prior. Imagine that, you idiots. Imagine not preparing your site for the amount of foot traffic it would get, and now it's crashing doing the piss poor measly 12 hours you've limited us to. I hate you, your poor planning, your clear failure to be aware and keep up with times, your trash customer service line that was equally ill-equipped, and your obvious Republican leadership, because that is the only reason you would exercise this level of unawareness to plan for all of us to shop. We're in caps now. All of us to shop for 3 days in store in order to get a fucking candle, knowing full and hell well that makes no sense in the year of a global pandemic that is literally killing people who do nothing more than come in contact with the wrong people. Your stores are legit 5 by 5, and you're planning for all of it. They are really small, and you're planning for all of us to go in there for 3 days, but only for us to shop online for 24 hours. You sound stupid. I hate all of you. This was a simple fucking pleasure I wanted in light of Miss Rona taking all others, and you failed utterly. Fire your marketing team, your strategists, and whoever else. Honestly, you need to fire legal for providing poor advice or none at all. What a cluster. You're a moron. Back in regular type. I'm not even about to buy these candles anymore, but I am sitting on the line waiting to speak to a customer service rep because I want this recorded. I want a recording of this lashing I'm about to provide them to be sent to you directly, as I know it will be. Be better. Best, sincerely, Capes. So as I said, I really enjoyed this because I found it funny, but also I was like, girl, you could just not buy the candles.
Yo,
but I like
dead ass serious about these candles.
The funny thing is, just today, like before this, I was thinking, I need some candles. Like, because I love candles myself. And I was like, I need to just cop a couple candles online or something like that. Or maybe I'll just punch it down to the store and just like grab a couple cool candles. I literally was thinking about how badly I have not had like a good candle fix mere hours before I read this fucking email. So it sent the fuck out of me. And the fact that she is dry, because it's like, it's such a super first world problem, but it's also not, she's not wrong. Like, why not this year of all of the years wouldn't you change the way that you have that sale? Like,
did you think people wasn't gonna buy their candles this year? I feel like there are people who wait all year long for this candle sale from Bath and Body Works, child.
Clearly, because Mama knows it's an annual girl, and she was waiting.
I'm pissed.
She was waiting to cop her, cheap candles, because candles are expensive, also, especially depending on which one and where you get them from. So a $9.95 candle, which is probably a good sized one if it's on sale, is definitely a grab. It's like, I get it. I get it because I love candles. So I don't even think that Capes is incorrect. I think that it absolutely is. You're right for being frustrated because it is fool for them to not be like, you know what? Let's just have, even if they do in store for 3 days, make the online thing 3 days too. Give people the option, especially since your website's not fucking working.
People be camping out in long ass lines for them candles. I've seen it. They don't fuck. Oh, it was all last year. I saw it. A few people that I follow were like in line early, and the line like snaked all around the fucking parking lot of people trying to get into the Bath and Body Works to get them candles. It's not a joke.
Honestly, I haven't been in a Bath and Body Works since I was at the mall with my mom as a teenager.
Yes, so it's been a long time. So I
forgot that they like have the scents. So I was like, I guess it makes sense to me that they probably have candles that are scented candles that are exclusive to that store. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Because when I was in high school, it was like very trendy to have your little Bath and Body Works little mini lotion.
Yeah, I remember
that. You carried around and everything. Like all the girls had,
cherry blossom and juniper
spring
breeze
or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So I'm not surprised. I just didn't know y'all was that damn serious about these candles. It almost makes me want to buy one. Like, okay, well, how good do they smell then? Like, are they just that damn nice?
All I remember about being in Bath and Body Works with my mama was walking around, opening the lotions and the shampoos and smelling them. That was all I like.
That's the point.
I ever did. Right, that's what everybody fucking did. And another whole last reason that should nobody be in a fucking Bath and Body Works, because they still going in there and sniffing all of them damn shits and taking their mask
down to do it.
Right. So like, you're correct. I don't even, as much as this is like, if I first started reading this, it was like, well, girl, they're not forcing you to go get the candles. Girl, just don't get them.
Yeah.
But you're not wrong at all. And I love candles too. So I agree.
I walked past a store the other day that was selling like different homemade incense or whatever. And they had a big ass sign saying, just sniff it through the mask. You can smell it through the mask. Do not pull your mask down to smell our incense. Y'all tired of the dumb shit.
Like the mom and pops places, especially where the people in them stores are putting their feet down. Because like a lot of these big corporate places, the girls are just happy to still have a job, and many times they're just like whatever. But you walk into some of these people's shops and they're like, if you don't get out of here or find a mask in the next 3 seconds, I am whooping your ass. Like the girls, they are like, get out if you don't have a mask on your face. And I live. So
yeah. Not mad.
Bath and Body Works, yeah, you definitely could have did better, but you're prepared for the tongue lash because
do another sale, bitch.
It's been recorded, right? The fuck.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I don't have much to say. I just want to talk about Red Table Talk this week because
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Oh, because
bitch, I thought about putting that in the hot topics this week and I forgot. Thank you. So this is why we do a show together.
Well, I just had to say something because If you missed it, Olivia Jade, who looks exactly like her mama, ain't Becky.
Yes.
She broke her silence surrounding the whole USC scandal. If you forgot, her parents paid $500,000 to get her, and I believe her sister too, into USC. But even if it was just, it don't matter, girl. $250 each is also not a deal. So anyway. So yeah, because of legal issues, she said she didn't talk about it until now. Her parents are both currently serving their very short prison sentences. And yeah, Olivia Jade reached out to the Red Table and extended the invite to come on the show. And Gammy was not fucking having it.
Gammy fucking cleared it. Like, Gammy cleared it.
Before Swiss Miss even came out, Gammy was like, I'm pissed and this is why. First of all, how dare you?
She was like, I don't even know why we're doing this.
She said, and Gammy made all of the excellent points.
Everyone.
She straight up said, first of all, no matter what, this little girl is going to be just fine. She does not have to come on Red Table Talk in order to get better. It is not our responsibility as Black women to raise her consciousness. She, your mama's going to do her 60 days and come home and it will be fine. And I find it ironic that she chose Black women to reach out to for her redemption. And I don't like white women coming to us for support when we don't get the same thing from them, and called it white privilege. Gammy laid that shit the fuck out.
Like, flat.
My issue was not with Willow, who, you're at a table with your mom and your grandma. You probably just gonna be like, oh yeah, oh, I see what you're saying, because that's your mom and your grandma.
Yeah.
So you're probably not finna like be super whatever about it, but it was clear that Gammy and Jada were coming at this from opposite sides. Where Gammy fought tooth and nail to make it not happen, Jada did the exact opposite. But Jada's reasoning was incredibly fucking stupid, if you ask me. No offense, Jada, but my whole issue is I was the victim of that and I experienced that and I never want to be that to somebody else. Doesn't make sense for a few reasons. First of all, you as a Black woman earned your place.
Come on.
Earned it. Olivia Jade is Aunt Becky and Massimo's daughter, meaning she was born into wealth, meaning she will always have it. She is 21 years old. She is a conventionally attractive young white girl. She will literally be just fine. Yeah. You may have experienced, and I'm certain you did experience, a lot of racism and discrimination at the hands of white people throughout your career. I'm 100% sure of that. What I also know, though, is that Olivia Jade and the impact on her career, what being on Red Table Talk or not being on Red Table Talk is not going to keep her from ever working again or having a successful YouTube or selling shit on her Instagram stories or whatever it is, whatever kind of influencer this girl grows up to be. Being denied an opportunity to go on Red Table Talk is not going to stop none of that. Because as much privilege as you have gained throughout your life that you have worked for, your privilege, which is almost solely financial, this little girl has all of that and then some. So it's not a situation where being denied an opportunity to be on Red Table Talk means that she won't be paid attention to, or she won't get deals or people hitting her up to work with her or anything else. As much as I love and respect Red Table Talk, usually it is simply not making or breaking that girl's career. It's not.
Not even close.
It was huge for Jordan Woods. It's not huge for Olivia Massimo. I'm sorry I don't know your last name, but your daddy created Massimo. And I went to school with white people, so I know Massimo. So that's what I'm going to call you. So when Jada gave that whole argument about how she just didn't want to be that person to do the same thing to this girl that had been done to her, I'm just like, somewhere along the line, you started thinking that because you have a successful media platform, that means you have the same level of influence or impact in media as a white woman in a similar situation would. And it just is not, that's just not how it works. Olivia Jade could have or should have called Ellen. Apparently Ellen is desperate to get people on that show. A-listers are not trying to be seen with that nigga no more. Damn. Because of her, you know, all the allegations around her real attitude and all that. But she could have called Kelly Clarkson. She could have called any one of the morning shows that have round tables and that sort of thing. Like, it did not have to be Red Table. So I fully understood where Gammy was coming from. Felt like Jada just said, bitch, if we get the first interview with Olivia Massimo, do you have any idea what the Red Table Talk numbers are going to be that week? And that would have made a lot more sense to me. Just be like, I brought the white bitch on because hella people are finna watch this.
The funny thing is, the reason I saw this, the clip of the conversation between Gammy and, you know, Jada and Willow, the reason I saw it was on Twitter with a tweet that said, I found the conversation about having Olivia Jade on the show far more interesting than anything she said.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I agree, it was probably absolutely giving, like, getting the first interview from this girl would be, like, great for the show. But Gammy was giving, who the fuck cares? Like,
right.
Why do we need to go there with her? For what? She'll be fine. Like I said, Gammy cleared it. Like,
she did.
She cleared it. I lived for every second of what she was saying because she was dead ass correct, and she was keeping her feet down, and she was adamant about motherfuckers knowing. I disagree with this. Mm-hmm. I am not pleased with this. I do not think it is necessary, but fine. You know, like, yeah. I totally agree.
Exactly. And even after she came out, Gammy was like, I'm struggling to give a fuck about this. Because black people, you know, try to get their kids into a different school district by putting down a different address and go to prison for years. So I'm really struggling to give a fuck about this here, girl. I don't care. And Olivia, to her credit, or to, you know, her coach's credit, or whoever trained her into saying the things she said, she was like, you know, I didn't think it was that big of a deal when it first happened. And now I understand that just based off my skin color, I already had these privileges. And now I want to do stuff to change that, which, okay. Sure, you want to do things to dismantle white privilege, little girl. I believe that. Yeah. Sure you do, girl. But, you know, she said the right things you would expect a girl in her position to say here. So I really felt like at the end of it, Gammy was right. This, like, Gammy made her point before it started, and by the end of the interview, it was like her point was even more obvious. She did not need this. This was her coming to black women to get support and nurturing, and, oh, it's going to be okay, and you're young, and you make mistakes, and it'll blah, blah, blah. When a black girl in a similar situation could not do the same. Did Jordan Woods go on Ellen? Did she? I don't think so. I do not believe, and Jordan Woods didn't actually do nothing wrong, as opposed to you and your parents spending all this damn money to get you into school. Like, it's just a fact of the matter that black women can't depend on white women for the sort of treatment that Olivia Massimo got from the Red Table. So, in summation, Gammy was correct, as usual. And I just had no choice but to stand, because the whole attitude, she gave Jada every last bit of it. And Jada was like, yeah, you know, a lot of people are going to agree with you, Gammy. A lot of people, they're gonna say Gammy is 100% right. And I'm like, I'm right here. I'm right here, because yes, she is. Jada talking about we gonna catch some heat for this. Gammy made it very clear that she was not in alignment with you on this one particular matter. And of course, afterwards, you know, they posted videos and pictures talking about no matter if we disagree, we still got each other's backs. Of course.
Yeah, nobody
thinks that y'all are going to stop being mother-daughter over this. But, but the point remained that Gammy said the fucking truth and put it out there, and it needed to be said. So thank you, Miss Ma'am. She sure did.
Of the points.
And made sure we knew too. And then when that little girl came out, I thought, oh, okay, so Gammy just gonna go in the back of the house and, you know, smoke some weed or something. Gammy sat right there and said, let me remind you that black people have real problems. So you sitting here talking about this, and I'm just struggling to give a fuck about your feelings. How can you not? Like, I loved it. I loved it. So, oh, thank you, Red Table Talk, for, if nothing else, keeping up the mess in the middle of the pandemic. Because that was the entertainment I needed.
Lord.
Oh, okay. So I think that is going to wrap up this week's episode of The Read. Check us out on social media at This Is The Read. Our website is thisistheread.com. And don't forget to check out eBay for the exact sneakers that you're looking for. That's right. With the eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can be confident that your pair is real because professional authenticators verify the box, logo, stitching, and dozens of other inspection points. Your grail is guaranteed to be genuine because there are no fakes, no fraud, and no doubt with the eBay Authenticity Guarantee. So check them out for your sneakers. Anything else, Kid Fury, this week?
I have a short story. So my mother listened to the podcast last week.
Oh no, I have to go die.
Or half of it, she said.
Oh God, she couldn't handle it. Oh God, I can't handle this. Oh, I can't handle this.
She knows the truth about the air fryer.
Of all the episodes for her to listen to, it had to be the one.
So, she said she thought it was hilarious and that she's not upset that I've only used it to make Uncrustables.
To make desserts.
So I guess that's the Happy Meal. I thought that first of all, I was mortified because I got up to a text that said, I listened to the show or something to that episode. And I was like, all right, this is my last day. And when I spoke to her, she said that she thought it was hilarious. But I'm actually going to start using the air fryer for like legit food because I've seen like some friends and stuff who've been posting stuff that they made in their air fryer that looks good as fuck. And I would like to get back into cooking more in general. So yeah, I thought that was funny. My mommy listened to the show and she knows the truth that I was going to never tell her about the air fryer that she bought me.
Well, I don't even think my mother knows what this show is called, so I don't have to worry about her listening to it. But
I wish that was the same here. But I'd prefer her thinking it's hilarious than being like, "Well, don't ever come home."
Right? I was scared that it was like, "Oh God, are you still in the family?"
Right. So, blessings on blessings.
Okay.
But that's it for me.
All right. Well, let's carry that blessings energy with us throughout the week. Take care of yourselves, and we will see y'all next week.